And welcome to episode 21, Golf 4, part of John's Eclectic Photo Time Adventure Series. It was the third Friday in June, and for John, a seasoned photographer with an eye for candid energy and a heart for local events, it meant one thing: the annual Big Swing Charity Golf Classic. The weather promised partly cloudy skies and an early summer warmth, perfect for the tournament held at Fairway Pines, a rolling 18-hole course set against the quiet charm of the countryside. John arrived early, just past 6:30 a.m., the sun already climbing and a light breeze weaving through the course. His first stop was the putting green near the clubhouse, still slick with dew and already dotted with players working out their early jitters. A few soft thunks echoed as golf balls were tapped, rolled, and occasionally missed. John scanned the area, made mental notes, and then headed over to the pro shop to check in. He picked up the keys to his rental golf cart, bright white, squeaky clean, with a clipboard and scorecard already secured on the dashboard. Returning to his car, John popped the trunk and retrieved his Canon R5 Mark II camera body and a selection of lenses. He hesitated for a moment before lifting his trusted 200 to 800 millimeter super telephoto lens from its foam-lined case. This monster of a lens had earned its keep countless times, allowing him to capture subjects at a distance without ever breaking their moment. With the camera rigged and ready, John raised it from the parking lot and fired off several test frames, tweaking shutter speed and ISO to accommodate the sun's scattered rays dancing through the patchy clouds. The registration area had started to fill with energy, laughter, handshakes, shouts of recognition. John moved in fluidly, clicking photos of golfers checking in, locating their golf carts, and joking about mulligans before the first swing. One man had a driver with a massive head and a novelty Bigfoot head cover that bobbed comically with every step. John got a perfect frame of it mid-laugh. He returned to the putting green just before 8 a.m. as the crowd gathered for the quirky opening ceremony, the ball drop. A picnic basket, cleverly retrofitted with a release mechanism, was hoisted up on a pulley by two volunteers. It swayed lightly before being upended. A cascade of numbered balls spilled down onto the putting green, bouncing and rolling in every direction. One ball found its way towards a red-flagged hole. It teetered on the edge for a moment before dropping in. Cheers erupted. John caught the exact moment of impact, framed by the blur of motion and the wide-eyed delight of the crowd. Following the lead sponsor, John made his way to the first tee box, where Team HOS, H-O-S, Help Our Souls, a group from the local hospital, was primed to begin. Each player wore blue polos emblazoned with their unit names, and the energy was optimistic. As the tournament was a shotgun start, all teams would begin at different holes simultaneously. A horn blared across the fairway, loud and unmistakable. The game was on. John stuck with Team Haas for the first two holes. He captured swings, laughs, a lost ball, and even a team selfie near a bunker. Then, in the lull between strokes, John checked the time and zipped away in his golf cart towards hole 3, where Team Raider had just reached the green. Team Raider paused long enough for a posed photo, with a panoramic sweep of the green behind them and a flagpole billowing just over their shoulders. From there, John hustled to hole 5, where Team Short, named for their collective decision to wear loud patterned shorts, waited by the green, eager for their group shot. Throughout the morning, John moved like a spirit of the course, cutting across fairways, weaving through trees, and sidestepping bunkers. At hole 7, he found a lone golfer prepping for a long shot off the fairway. John crouched low, aligned the long lens, and snapped a sequence: backswing, contact, follow-through, all framed with the majestic arc of the ball cutting into the sky. Because the tournament was a long ball format, each team hit from the same best position ball, giving John consistency in his shooting angles. It made tracking teams more efficient, but it also meant never slowing down. At the 13th tee box, the real spectacle awaited. For a donation, participants could fire their golf ball using a compressed air cannon, the kind that looked more like it belonged on a battlefield than a golf course. The wind, however, had picked up, blasting directly back towards the tee. Team Biscuit, ever the good sports, gave it a go. The cannon barked, and the ball rocketed out, only to meet the stubborn headwind and land embarrassingly short. John caught the laughter, the playful head shakes, and the faux victory pose like it was documenting a comedy sketch. Nearby, Team Army, tough-looking men from the nearby base, were making efficient work of their play, their game tight and precise. Down another fairway, Team Beach had made a splash, not with their strokes, but with their vibrant floral shirts and flip-flop golf shoes. They raised plastic coconuts in salute to John's lens. Then came a sound from the skies. A vintage World War II aircraft made a low pass overhead. John paused, tracking it with his long lens as it dipped, landed on the nearby airfield, then took off again in a perfect touch and go. The golf continued below like a living postcard. On hole 15, Team Chicken Stick, named after the local chicken vendor sponsoring the food, posed proudly beside a grill set up, puffing with smoking hickory smoke. John laughed with them, accepted a chicken slider, and caught a wide-angle shot of the team mid-bite. By 16, Team Teal came into focus, sharp, stylish, all wearing matching teal polos. The final team John stumbled upon had a name that raised eyebrows. We hate people in purple shirts. Strangely enough, they weren't wearing purple, and neither was anyone else. But they insisted the name was born from a failed joke at last year's tournament. John made sure to capture their antics, especially when they insisted on an anti-purple victory pose. Between hole 9 and 10 lay a field, wild and vivid with blooming summer flowers. John, already feeling the weight of the morning, stopped briefly, switching to a macro lens to snap a few close-ups of the blossoms swaying softly in the breeze, a gentle intermission between the wild bursts of laughter and swings. At the 18th tee box, one of the more curious sponsors' booth had set up what could only be described as a toilet toss challenge. Golfers attempted to toss rolls of toilet paper into a clean porcelain toilet set beside the tee. Those who succeeded got gift cards. John caught one roll midair, unspooling like a streamer. By 2 p.m., the course had quieted. Final putts were tapped in, handshakes made, and the carts began to return like ships from a voyage. John, sunburned and soaked with sweat, made his way slowly back to the parking lot. His memory cards were full. His feet ached, but the stories were all there, etched in light, color, and human connection. Back home, the next 2 days were spent in his editing cave. He culled through thousands of frames, tweaking exposures, balancing highlights, sharpening smiles. By Sunday night, the photo set was published to the tournament gallery site. John closed his laptop, leaned back, and smiled. Another year, another tournament, another beautiful chaos frozen in time. And we hope you enjoyed this episode, Golf 4, episode 21, part of John's Eclectic Photo Time Adventure. Please join us next time for episode 22, Waterfall and Stream. Thank you. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like this episode, please consider subscribing and hit that like button. Thank you.